other half. Your application that's approved, sitting on the desk that the government can't get to, and they just keep saying, I'm sorry, I can't get to this, or we work through as the need comes through, that's a more efficient way. Otherwise, you're going to see an Office of Broadband that's going to grow to 10 people, and then I'm going to hear, I guarantee it, oh, there you go, growing government again. We don't need that. This is a finite problem. Once we build the network out, we're ready to move on. Let's not make it a permanent problem.
Is there anyone that has a question that hasn't asked why to know it? Way in the back.
Kathy Doris and I live south of Chatfield in a wooded area. My employer has made my job, I telework, and they've made my job fully telework. I cannot get anything but satellite at my home, and they require wired broadband. I currently drive 8 miles. I rent office space to get to work. CenturyLink is our only provider. I'm curious if there is ever the possibility I'll be able to get wired broadband to my home to be able to work from home.
Andy.
Yeah, we can talk after the meeting, get your contact information, your phone number.
I have, since it's better for the last 10 years, taking signatures of people in my general area from Chatfield out who would want the same thing. So.
I'd be happy to visit with you.
Now, as we kind of wind things down, the folks that, we had a big breakfast at Big Bob's breakfast. We had lunch at Big Bob's today. We got these really cool new pens that you can clean your phone off with. Isn't that cool? Anybody go to Big Bob's much? You should go there. It's a great place. But as we're at Big Bob's, great Wi-Fi spot. Great Wi-Fi spot.
All
Works
our
great
wireless
there.
devices work very well, though.
They do, so we got 10 of us eating lunch there, and everybody has the phone out. So Laura, the waitress, says, put those phones away. So we're going to enjoy the cuisine at Big Bob's. So with that being said, as we wrap things up a bit, there are folks from the industry that have volunteered, have told me that they would stay a little bit longer if you have specific questions. So maybe you could talk to Andy. And I'm sticking around if any of you have questions for me. The gentleman right here.
I'm Jack Bradford from Preston, and I'd like to get the conversation more local. In other words, we're a small county without a lot of lobbyists, and so we rely on a representative to answer our problems if we go to the legislature. We're within 30 miles of Rochester, which is growing. We're within 100 miles of Minneapolis, which what we need, and people need down here, we have rivers to build on, and I think Mainsboro is a good example of what happens when something actively gets done. And we have people now selling homes for $1.2 million on the hills. We have all this coming in. And what we're not recognized for, because we are a small county, without only your representation, that's what we have to rely on. And when you are lukewarm on a project, we're lukewarm, because we have no one else voting.
Wait, Jack, who's lukewarm?
I've read your articles, and you've been worried about overspending, and you've been worried about a number of things.
Now, how does that mean I'm lukewarm on broadband?
Because you said
Ron, how many times I vote for broadband? Every time?
Every time.
Thank you.
Okay, I've still heard you say that you did not want to invest. You were worried about investing in a great deal in broadband. Let's put it that way.
I said, no. What I said was when the number $100 million came out, I said, I don't know if that's, read what was said. I said, I don't know if that's the right number. I said, is it less than that or is it more than that? I don't know what the number is. And I think Ron's exactly right. Don't get hung up on the number. Maybe that's not the number that works. Maybe it's 60 million. Maybe it's 120 million.
Well, my question is, why are we having this meeting if it isn't to somehow get some clarification? So far, I've sat through this, and I get no more clarification now than we did when we walked in.
Well, Jack, I feel a lot better about it. I feel a lot better about it. I think we're making some headway here.
Yeah.
We've heard from a county commissioner how important broadband is. We've heard from people working on their homes how important broadband is. I've always supported broadband, but the question is, maybe we need to get some more. I would love to see a Centec get their grant.
All of the representatives we have here, which is only half the crowd, how many local here feels we're making progress.
Centec, are you doing anything to help out here?
Yeah, we've invested over 13 million just from community alone, and our progress is to move forward from here out.
Thank you.
What
Thanks for
community?
doing that. Jack?
What community?
I couldn't even get a telephone other than the Century Tel out of Preston. They are exclusive on it. So they charge what they want. That's telephone.
That's a whole nother issue.
I know, but I'm just bringing out how backwards we are. And we need someone to represent us and get this thing going.
Thank
That's
you.
what we're asking.
Glad to do her. Becky?
I'm encouraged after this meeting. I don't think there's any disagreement in this room that we have unmet needs. Let's just talk about our district, okay? That our district, or Fillmore and Houston counties, has significant unmet needs for high-speed internet. And I think we agree on why it's really, really important. And I believe you that this is really important to you, and it seems like you do kind of, you get this. So we agree on the goal. What I don't think there's agreement on, and this is maybe what Jack's frustrated about, is how fast do we get there? And we're not even quite sure. It's like we know the services we want to get, but we're not quite sure the method. I'm hearing wireless, I'm hearing fiber, uncertain. So my question to Representative Davids is, who is, I think, very proud of his ability to fight for Fillmore and Houston County. And I understand the assistant majority leader is frustrated because the legislature is a place of competing priorities, right? You made that clear, totally true. Huge competing priorities. You're out there trying to carry things forward for this issue. Sounds like it's a priority for you. So my question, Representative Davids, is on your list of priorities, where is this? And I would really be curious as to any specific action item, like after today, what might be on your to-do list to help the assistant majority leader accomplish his goal of having better service, and particularly in this area. So what are you going to do?
Very, very good question. Very good question, very fair question. The legislature is set up generally with about 30 various committees. Most of us are on between 3, I've been on 7 committees, 3 to 7 committees. As you know, I chair the tax committee, so I am...
Busy guy.
Well, I'm immersed in that. That's pretty complicated, pretty complex, and I love doing it, okay? I'm on the Commerce Committee, which generally not really doesn't oversee, but we do have some small part in broadband. Veterans Affairs, very big in Veterans Affairs, and then I'm on Ways and Means. So those are the committees. So that's what I see. So I don't see a lot of this stuff during the legislative day. That being said, I rely on folks such as the leader Krisha here, and he will probably come to me, as he has in the past, saying, hey, we need help with some of this broadband stuff. Can you help me? And what's my answer always been?
Yes.
Oh, yes. It's always been yes. So while I am not going to get down in the nitty-gritty of seeing this thing, but I won't see it until it gets to the floor. I won't see it
So
until the
it's
floor.
really not a priority for you then? I mean,
Can I
I'm
help you?
serious.
Can I help you?
Because there's a...
Peggy, it's one of my highest priorities in my life.
Yeah, right.
It's one of my highest priorities in my life. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't see me carrying the broadband bills, because I'm not on the committees. You have to understand how the place works,
Well, I
okay?
understand that things
So how did you
happen.
get, Peggy, I gotta see how you think it. How did you get out what I said that it's not a high priority for me?
Because you listed all the committees that you're on, and those are important responsibilities, and so I got the message that that's really what you're going to be spending your time on, is things that come to that committee, and I understand that's how the legislature works, but what I want to hear is, are you going to spend time on things that matter to your district?
I do that every day.
Okay, and then I want to know specifically, how are you going to do that on this issue? You're going to wait for him to come to you and tell you, and
No.
on the floor, you're going to offer amendments on the floor?
What I'm going to do, no, because he'll have the bill the way it should be right on the House floor. There shouldn't need to be any amendments on the House floor because we'll be carrying the bill, we'll be designing the bill.
Right.
That being said, it is a very high, important priority to me, but if you don't see me in tax committee bringing up broadband, it's probably because the speaker might have me in his office pretty quick, so you can't do that. So how you could possibly come up with the idea that it's not a high priority, it's a very high priority to me. I have very high priorities in nursing homes, huge priorities for me. I don't serve on any of those committees. But I do work in that area, and we have tremendous funding for nursing. I'm not on an education committee. We put $550 million into K-12 schools this year. Pretty high priority. Did I sit on those committees? No. Very high priority. So this is a very high priority. Mr. Friesen, did you want to make these comments? Then I'm going to get you guys out of here, and then I'm going to stay.
So a couple of quick things. I'm the vice chair of the finance committee for education. And so you can, please understand, broadband's a priority for me, but I'm also a big driver for what happened in the education budget. And Representative Davids is huge in the tax. He's got one of my Angel tax credit bills that he's looking at. I'm not carrying that every day. I turn that over to him because he's the expert. And he trusts me with the broadband. That's how we have to do things. And let me let you know something else. I'm driving the Child Protection Task Force. Now, guess what? If I have a choice between 20 million for kids that are not in foster care and that are being beaten versus broadband, guess what? That's a pretty tough decision. We get those every day. I can tell you, I can go through the numbers with you in your child protection in your areas. That's as much of an economic driver as education, tax credits, everything else. Our jobs are vast. So I appreciate where you're at, but we rely on experts all the time. And I go to Representative Davids, I'm like, please help me with my Angel tax credit bill. You carry that, because guess what? I've got education, child protection, broadband, and I can go on my list. That's how we work. And we trust each other. And I will tell you, and I'm saying this in all honesty, there is nobody that fights harder for their district than Representative Davids. And I'm saying that in all honesty. I see him down there. You may see us in the paper, you may see us on TV, and you take it for what it is. You can walk out of here and say, you're just saying that. But Representative Davids sat behind me, and I've learned more from him on how to move bills down there because he gets it. And he's great with negotiation. Now, I'm telling you, there's a reason I'm here, and it's because we need broadband. But I'm telling you, you do have somebody that's fighting for you. For up there.
One
You guys
last
are out.
question, then we're going to get these guys back up to stage. Superintendent.
My first, you mentioned education, John McDowell Superintendent School in England. You mentioned education. First, I want to thank you and compliment you for the work you did to bring us $514 million or 2%